Hey everybody, what's going on? Well, I was just sitting here today thinking about, what I want to do? I want to do a video about just who I am. I mean, a lot of times I come on here and I do lots of different videos. My last one was on detachment from the world. Of course, I got a lot of flack about that too, because people are going, "You're retreating. You're not standing up anymore. You're this and you're look." Let's get this straight. There's two sides of thunder here, okay? There's the side that can detach, and then there's the side that can engage, okay? And I am a tracker and I am a warrior. It's just, you get tired of hearing the bullshit. So you got to detach sometimes. It's a lesson. It's another lesson. Today I thought I'd talk about just some of my tools of the trade and who I am and show you some of the stuff that I have. This is my hat. This hat's 30 years old, okay? And I got a red-tailed hawk's feather there. I don't know if you can see that. This hat's older than some people on the planet. Then I got a bunch of other hats. I have a Natane, which is or a Natani, which is a Navajo Bailey tracker's hat, the type with the brim and the wide, the rounded crown. Some people call it a Billy Jack hat. It's not really. He made it famous, but it were around a long, long time. And I wanted to talk about, some of the tools of the trade that warriors use, or just some of my personal collection, or just some fun stuff, okay? I thought some people might be into this, some people might not be, but I wanted to show you some of the stuff I do. For instance, I do leather work here. Here's a holster that I made by hand, beaded and stamped. And in that holster goes this, which is a Beretta 22 cal. That's for close-up work. It's a nice little gun. Pocketable. You can put it in your pocket, whatever. Then my other one, which I also made a holster for, this is the holster. If I get a close-up here, you can see the engraving and the stitching and all that stuff. Yeah, I made that. And then this is the firearm that goes with that. This is called a Ruger. I don't think it's loaded. Let's see. No, it's not loaded. Okay, so this is the Ruger, and it's stainless steel. And it's one of my favorite guns, short barrel, large frame, revolver. And I like the Ruger because inside in the trigger, you can't see it, but there's a safety where you can dry fire it all day long and not do any damage to the firing pin. So this is a nice gun. You can throw it down in the mud. It's one, like I say, it's one of my favorites. So I like this. And it looks good in the holster too. And it's kind of like a cross draw holster. Okay, and then I'm also into collecting knives. And one of my favorites is this one, which is, I just made a temporary sheath for it until I get another one, but this is what you call the tracker knife, the Tom Brown tracker knife. Nice knife because it's got the serrated edge and it's for tracking, and it's got kind of like an axe looking feel to it, and also it's good for throwing too. It's a very solid, sturdy knife. This is really a good knife. It's the Tom Brown. He designed it. He's one of the world's greatest trackers. So that's a knife I got. I really like knives because they're a really good instrument for a lot of different things. Fighting being one of them. It's one of the, if you know how to use it. And let's see what else I got here. Oh, you're going to like this one. This one is a Pakistani knife. I've had this, 20, 30 years. And it was made in Pakistan. And that's what that baby looks like. No, that's not a buck knife. That is a Pakistani handmade knife with the brass and the rivets. That's one mean looking MF. All right. Had that one a while. There's a little story behind how I got that. I won't go into that right now. So we got that, and then we got, since I'm into the martial arts and I'm into the samurai and the code of the samurai, we have the tanto, which is like a small samurai sword, only it's kind of like a short sword. This is a cold steel tanto. Always want to be careful with these. This is one of my favorites. It's built very well, cold steel. Okay, and then here's another one I recently picked up. I'm a knife collector. Another sheath here. And in that sheath is this little baby, which is a beautiful, beautiful work of art. It's got the bone handle that is tinted with a bluish tint, and the brass fittings here and on the hilt, and the curved blade. It's called a skinner. This is called a skinning knife, but it can be used for just about anything. It's a small knife that's compact, that can be carried in a sheath. And this was made by one of my Ojibwe brothers. This is something that is very special to me, being it's my tribe. So I like that one. Am I missing anything? Yes, I'm missing all kinds of things. Okay, so those are some of the tools of the trade that Thunder has. I have a lot more, and you know, some won't fit on here. Let's put it that way. But for those of you who think I'm of the faint-hearted, and that just because I say detach from the world, that I'm some kind of like, oh, I won't stand up for my rights, or I won't this, or I guess, you just saw my tools of the trade there. This is a tool of the trade, and actually this microphone here and my mouth. Oh, and did I mention my hands? They're lethal, too. 30, 40 years martial arts, I don't know. I forgot. It's been so long. But if you want to learn more about the martial arts, you can go back into my archives, and I got a video called Martial Arts The Real Deal and some other things that pretty graphically explain what might come down here in the future and how to handle yourself, because I taught hand-to-hand combat and studied many martial arts, too numerous to go into mention here. So I'm just kind of having fun today, letting you people see the warrior side of Thunder. I know I get on here and I got an award-winning book, and I talk a lot of stuff. I talk a lot about spiritual matters. Well, see, to me, everything's spiritual. Everything. Warriorship, world affairs, all of that stuff is spiritual, but it may not be like the world affairs, like I said in my last video, may not be. When it gets to where they're just lying continually, it's best to like take a step back, okay, and check everything out and go, okay, you need to look at the bigger picture, just like the hawk, okay, flies way above everything, looks at the bigger picture, sees the, the food that he wants, and goes down and gets it, or accomplishes whatever he was supposed to do. Now, I've been getting a lot of, what I've been saying is that there's a lot of people waking up. Just as I'm like ready to give up here, I'm starting to go on some of these channels that I say I go on, just looking. I mean, it's really hard for me not to at least look. Then I end up commenting, and then people go, oh, you're a hypocrite because you said you were detached. And no. See, Taoist warriors, of which I am, and indigenous warriors, can change their mind anytime. Go with the flow, right? Taoist means going with the flow, going with the changes. So whatever I feel at the moment, boom, I do. So that it's not that I'm contradicting myself. It's that, hey, this is the yin part of me, this is the yang part of me, and I go with the flow, back and forth, back and forth. And if I want to stay in one area, then I stay there. And if I want to stay in another area, I stay there, okay? This is called thinking outside the box. But anyway, I've been noticing lately that people are like, I'm not the only one that's saying, don't listen to this bullshit. It's fear-mongering. It's fear porn. It's whatever. And like, there's other people that are starting to go, yeah, that's what it is, especially when I put a comment up there. And I'm finding that I get getting some more positive comments. A lot of times you'll get trolls in there that'll go, you don't know what you're talking about, or whatever. But a lot of people are finding out that I do know what I'm talking about. I've been around a while, been a warrior a while, been on the earth a while. And they're starting to realize that the stuff that they're hearing is like, what? This doesn't make sense. Or maybe they're saying thunder makes sense now. I see what he's saying. But it's good to see. It kind of gets the juices in me flowing again. It makes me want to like get more involved. But I'm telling you, people, the ones that are waking up out there, you need to act quickly. You need to act quickly, because whatever you're going to do, it'd be nice if we could all just congregate somewhere and meet somewhere, like in, I don't know, Colorado or wherever, and all get together and go, hey, we need to band together here because it's getting critical. So that'd be awesome. Or get some people together that, want to do something, that have the resources. I'm not really resource abundant right now. But where there's a will, there's a way. Now, also that's what the Campfire Council is all about, which I talk about. It's all about this stuff, survival, tools of the trade, learning, thinking outside the box, seeing things for what they are. I'm telling you, it's really surprising me that I'm starting to see people going, man, this is bullshit. Like, the U.S. is doing this, and why are they doing that? Or they're just saying that it's lies. It's out and out lies. A lot of people are seeing that. They're going, wait, this doesn't make sense. Man, that's good to see. Because there's been a whole lot of people that have been dumbed down and don't know what is going on. And there's still a lot of people like that. So maybe I do serve some kind of purpose. I would like to think so. If you want to contact me, you can always do so through the links below, Campfire Council, because when you go to that website, there's an email and a newsletter and stuff like that. So any of you kindred souls out there, those of us who think alike, who think outside the box, want to contact me with any suggestions or ideas, I'm open to it. Man, I'm open to anything right about now. I'd travel anywhere. I'd go anywhere. Somebody asked me, do I want to go to Buffalo, New York? I said, sure, I'll go to Buffalo, New York. I don't know. The East Coast is, even though I'm an Arizona boy, and then like right now I'm in California, the East Coast is looking pretty good. Some places like Maine and around where my people are from, Thunder Bay, up by the Lake Superior, and that's where Buffalo is, up in that area, and it's like right next to the border of Toronto. I was born in East Orange, New Jersey. Okay. If anybody wonders, it's just that I didn't grow up there. I grew up in Arizona, but I got those vibes, okay, those East Coast vibes. That's maybe why I'm so blunt. And my family is all, the Hoole family and my mother's side. And I got a touch of Irish in me, too. French, Indian, Irish. No, I'm not pure, okay? But it don't matter, people. I'm pure in the heart. That's where it counts, okay? I'm pure native, I'm pure nature, I'm pure, no, we don't want this crock of shit that we have here now. And we don't. Do we? So let's get with it, people. People are starting to wake up. We need to move because they're going to shut down the internet. They're already saying the Russians hacked into JP Morgan and all the banks of America. Guess what that means? That means they're getting ready for something big. Maybe. It could be another fear tactic, but what if they decided that they wanted to blame the Russians on the financial collapse of America? What perfect opportunity would that be? That's part of unconventional warfare and psychological warfare. To say, hey, the Russians hacked into the banking system and now we need to bail into your bank account so that we can replenish blah, 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 whatever. You never know, see, with these people. And then you got them still accusing Russia of attacking the Ukraine. He didn't attack the Ukraine. And people believe it. But more and more people, I'm saying, are starting not to believe it because, Putin even let some people go. Told the separatists in Ukraine to let some people go home, but just keep their weapons. So, trust me, if Putin, I'm an old war strategist, right? You don't know my background. I'll never tell you my whole background. But if Putin wanted to go in there, let's put it this way. I know a guy that knew Putin, okay? Now, you can believe that or not, but believe it. If Putin wanted to go in there, he would go in there with massive troops and massive bombing missions. He'd just take out the whole Kiev, Ukraine, not his people, but the government there that's causing all the trouble, which is really our government. Using the puppet thing. I can't believe the lies that they spread around about different people. And it's like people are waking up. That's the point I want to make with this video. It's like people are waking up. Also, I just wanted to have fun with the tools of the trade thing. So I might entitle this video, People Are Waking Up, and Tools of the Trade. Maybe they'll get the drift. Once you wake up, you got to start using the tools of the trade, or at least you have to be familiar with them for your own protection. That's the point I'm trying to make here. And also that thunder is not of the faint-hearted. Okay. Thunder is not faint-hearted. Thunder is thunder. Okay. And that's multifaceted, believe me. There's multifaceted parts of me. There's the part that detaches totally from reality and goes into what I call Thunder's Great Disappearing Act for a while. You might never hear from me for months. And then there's the part of me that wants to pass on information, and when, you know, I know people get sad when I say, well, this might be my last video, or some people do. Some people are going, yay! But I'll be here for a while, I guess. If you don't hear from me, you know they got to me, or that Thunder just, you know, decided to maybe transcend into the other realm or whatever. But I don't see that real quick, but things are kind of getting exciting here, really. I mean, you know, when you take a different worldview of things, it's more like, well, this could be exciting. Another thing that I was thinking about is, like, everybody's talking about, oh, the big financial crash. Well, that's entirely possible. That's entirely possible. But I was thinking, well, if they really wanted a financial crash, or if they wanted to, they call it an economic reset, okay? And that means changing all the currency over. But they're saying, oh, there's just going to be chaos and millions of people dying. Well, that could be true if they did it the wrong way. But why wouldn't they do it the right way? Why wouldn't they just say, okay, this is the new currency. We're going from the dollar to the dinero, or to the finero, or to the whatever. Make up a name. And your money's still going to be worth the same. It's just that we're going to, or your money won't be. Why couldn't they do it in an orderly fashion and prepare the people, instead of like getting ready for this big giant false flag horrific event that's going to, you know, you don't know what's going on in these people's minds. That's the problem. Because nothing makes sense. Might make perfect sense to them, though. But they're on a campaign of disinfo. That's why I say detach. That's what I really meant. Detach, but don't stop noticing. You can notice with detachment. You can look and see and notice. No, it's hard sometimes because they try to strike fear. Like with this ISIS thing. It's like, yeah, he cut off his head and they're murdering people and they're crucifying people and they're doing this and they're doing that. Oh, really? Does that mean I got to look down the road and be... That's what most people think. Oh, here comes the guy and he's got a bloody head in his hand and he's coming right for me. And it's like, that's the imagery they get in their head when they hear this shit. And it's like, no, you got to keep your head and just realize that they're laying a bunch of fear-mongering, fear porn on your head so that it'll destabilize you, and so you won't be centered, and so you'll not be aware, and you'll not use the tools of the trade or whatever. Or that you'll just throw up your arms and go, it's over, we surrender, or whatever. Or protect us. There's a good one. Instead of us protecting ourselves, look, I protect myself, all right? let ISIS come over here. And then, you know, Cameron just said, oh, yeah, this is the highest alert in the UK. There's going to be an imminent terrorist attack. And good. Let's watch it. Let's watch them all blow each other up. That might be fun. See, that's what I'm talking about here. It's like, look at it with a sense of humor. You know, I mean, how bad can it get? If it comes to your front door, well, you better be ready. I mean, you just saw I am. I'll be like Jim Bowie at the Alamo, you know, when he's in there and all the Mexican army's coming in there, Santa Anna's forces break down the door, and he's like got 2 guns, right? Remember that movie with John Wayne? Or there was a couple of them. And he's got these 2 guns, and there's like hundreds of guys coming through the door. Well, how long are 2 guns going to last? But he took out as many as he could. He went down fighting. Shit, I'd rather go down fighting than laying in bed. Come to think of it, he was wounded and laying in bed and went down fighting. So anyway, I guess I'll end the video there today. Kind of humorous, kind of serious. We'll see what you think of it. I don't know what I'm going to name it. What should I name this? Why don't you tell me? Thunder's Rap or Thunder's... Oh, Tools of the Trade sure sounds good to me since I started off with that. But I want to mention that people are waking up. So maybe I'll name it People Are Waking Up and Tools of the Trade. They kind of go together, don't they, when you wake up? All right, I'm out of here. Just wanted to do that video. Wow, it's already 27 minutes. See how quickly time flies. Anyway, until I see you again, this is Thunder, over and out, and keep the faith.